Well, here we are once again in Tigard, Oregon. This is Kevin Duclairon. I am waiting right now for bus number 12 to go down to Tigard, TC, and I need to catch the 76 or 78 and then transfer over to Beaverton. I'm going to try to go to the 24 hours over there and work out, and then again go to the Beaverton Library to try to work on the text. Just to keep you up to date, church, with what's going on. Yesterday, actually last night, yesterday I went to the Beaverton Library, and I was sent a PDF by the publishing company. When I looked over the PDF, it looked like there were new mistakes put in there. And I'm thinking, well, I know that I had sent an edited text without all of those mistakes. I might have overlooked something, but they were so blatant and so obvious that, to me, it's like, between myself and the publisher, there is someone who has access both to my computer and probably theirs. And whoever it is that has access to their computer, where they're at, is in connection with those who have access to my computer here. So I'm thinking it's either the government, the gay community, the Klan, or MacArthur and his people. So whoever has access. Because when I got the text back, the PDF file basically is sort of like the concluding file stating that we both agree that this text is prepared for printing. Right? I didn't skim through the text. I went through the text page by page just to make sure that there weren't any obvious mistakes. I found too many. So I pulled out the Word document that I had in file and used the PDF file with the Word document to make some of the changes. I found, out of 100, I only got through 150 pages out of a 400-page document. There were so many mistakes that, or things that had been edited or things that had been added to it. And I just thought, God, I don't recall giving them a text with that many, mistakes. One thing I've learned about writing books is that the computer is not a perfect machine. You put a period somewhere, and it alters and changes the entire text. You take away a comma, or you take away any of those, signs that you would use for, writing, and it just completely alters and changes the text. So sometimes it's just best to just leave it as it is. As long as the people could read what you're writing. Even if you go through some of the professional authors, people that have been doing this for years and years and years, and you glance through their work, you will find mistakes. You will find misspelled words. You will find words that should be there that are not there. You will find run-on sentences. You will find things, because what's happening is that it's not necessarily the author who puts that there or the publishing company, but there is a community of gays who uses the text to communicate with people, and they sometimes sabotage. Now, if the author knows about it, and and they allow it, then it's nine times out of 10, it's because they're a part of the community or they've accepted the hit. I, on the other end, I'm not part of the community. I don't understand that way of communication. So it angers me and it enrages me when I find my text with all of these alterations. Not necessarily mistakes that were deliberately made, but alterations. You take a verse, for example, and you download it from NASB online to your text. You make all the adjustments, and then you come back and you find it unedited, and it's like, well, what's this? And then when you edit the whole thing, and you think, okay, all the editing has been made, somebody comes along and completely changes it. Well, this has been going on for about 3-4 weeks now, back and forth, and so I have to apologize to the American people. Let's talk, all of my books, let's talk about Satan, the commentary on Ephesians, spiritual convictions, and now let's talk about God. when you find the mistakes there, or when you find the alterations there, please understand that it is not me who necessarily turned in a text without editing, or it's not, I don't believe that it's the publisher. Personally, I don't believe that it's the publisher, because here they are sending me, they're telling me that I need to make correction because I gave them an unedited text. So I'm thinking, well, I don't think they're the kind of publishing company that's going to print up a text full of mistakes, right? And so I'm taking them at their word, they're taking me at my word. And so if you find it, know and understand that there are people that have control over computers other than the people who have purchased them and the people that are actually using them. There's a system that has access to any computer that you turn on. In other words, there's a back system where they can see the same screen as the screen that you're looking at when you're looking at a computer, or when you're working on a computer, whether it be your own computer or a computer that's in the public library. Well, what they showed me with that, and I believe this is part of the government or the gay community or the plan, I don't know, but what they showed me is that they have access and they can make alterations to make the text say things that the text did not, that you, the author, did not intend for it to say. I had one page where I couldn't figure out why I had all of these green lines underneath, warning me that it was a run-on sentence. When I actually went through the entire paragraph and read it, it's almost like somebody came in, removed text, added text, and it was saying something completely different other than what the Word of God teaches. I don't teach the Bible contrary to what the authors of the Bible have written to the people to the recipients that they have written to mean anything other than what they had intended for it to mean. In other words, the Bible's not saying one thing and Kevin Duclairon is saying something else. Kevin Duclairon teaches the Bible so that it says exactly, so that the interpretation of the text is exactly accurate in accordance with what God had been or has been saying to the church from the beginning, either to Israel or the church. So if you read my books and you find doctrinal issues or doctrinal stances, or you find any kind of doctrine and theology that is off the cuff, please don't automatically assume that I'm teaching heresy. Or don't automatically assume that I purposely put that there, I'm teaching garbage. I'm not in the business of teaching garbage. If you check out my videos, they're not all clean, because I'm dealing with John MacArthur and his opposition and his hatred. And speaking of which, after I left the public library yesterday, it only edited 150 pages. I thought to myself, you know what? Tonight, when I put all of my paperwork back, the manuscript, and I put back the flash drive into the storage facility and lock it up again in the cabinets that I have there, what's going to end up happening is that those people, they're going to go back and they're going to alter the text that I just edited again. So I'm thinking, well, it doesn't matter whether I give it to them clean, whether I complete it or not, because either way, it's not going to come out clean. I mean, someone is determined to make sure that I don't give you a clean, edited text without error. So if you find the error, know and understand that it's not coming from me. It's probably coming from somebody who detests my work and who doesn't agree with me being in the position that I'm in. And so this is a position that they've taken against me via the computer. So please understand. Try to understand the message. If you have a question, you may either contact me directly at my P.O. Box 2625, Portland, Oregon 97208, or you can contact the publisher. Their information is online, or wherever the store is that you purchase the book. Understand that I'm not giving these people garbage to print and to publish. You know what I'm saying? My goal is to do the will of God and to teach the will of God and nothing more. I don't have a hidden agenda behind what I teach and behind what I preach or behind what I write. So understand that from the very beginning, that this is how I'm beginning my literature ministry, and it's not because I want it to be this way. It's because these are the circumstances that I have been put in by only God knows whom. As far as that's concerned, I left everything here at Tiger and proceeded to go to the Operation Night Watch. Here comes my bus. Operation Night Watch, where I was kindly nudged to leave after several insulting statements were made by the patrons, the homeless, the people. So I left there and went to Safeway. When I got to Safeway and tried to purchase food, a yogurt and 2 pieces of chicken wings, they did something to the computer so that I wouldn't be able to pay. I think they ended up charging me $10.49. I swiped my card, entered my number, and it didn't go through. Swiped my card, entered my number, it didn't go through again. 3 times. Well, the guy that I was dealing with, that was because I was using the self payment, and long story short, well, he ended up bringing the manager into it. He was a resemblance of a Brian Craddock, whom I had known years ago in the college department on Grace Community Church property, whom I never had an altercation with. But then here last night, this guy representing came out. Well, long story short, the police ended up having to come. I was escorted out of Safeway, and then I was barred out of Safeway for 1 year. For what? For 1 year for absolutely nothing. So all last night I spent preaching against John at the top of my lungs, angry at the fact that he has been basically stalking me from establishment to establishment with the police department, hiding in those establishments to do what? To basically drive me out. They've done it in the public library. They've done it in the homeless community. They've done it now they've done it at Safeway. They've done it at Tiger Library. They've done it pretty much every place that I've gone. They've even done it at 24 hours. And so I'm not exactly sure how this thing is going to come to an end with John MacArthur, but I suggest as a church that you pray for him. And here comes my bus right now, right there. Here comes my bus, and so I have to get going, all right? And church, I pray that you would say a prayer for me.